Live.
It says we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PMA sessions on Punk Rock Saves Lives for this weird everybody shutting back down week of what is this? What's the date? 9/17 or 9/18?
18.
11/18.
11/18. I told you it's been.
You don't take it back to September.
I've been locked down for a month, so I don't. I'm finally back with you guys after 3 weeks of battling the COVID, and like we've told people a lot, it's real, guys. Don't discount it, and please be careful out there and wear a mask and take care of your people. This week we have a couple of special guests, including one whose birthday it is. Right below me, everybody, is Bree, and beside her is Laura from Punksylvania, which started as Camp Punksylvania and then mutated into so much more. And kind of what happened with us. We had one setup mission to start off, and then with COVID changing everything, we all kind of mutated into these cool new ways, and a lot of ours has been here online. So how are the Punksylvania ladies this beautiful Wednesday?
Really good, Bree. I want to let you go. It's your birthday.
Thank you, Thank you. I'm really well. We're trying to stay warm and trying to stay indoors, doing our part,
And y'all are doing what? A podcast now? You're doing live interviews, live reviews of albums, and
we're dabbling in a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think it started with reviews. I started about a year ago, and it was just kind of like a way, like writing is like the way I vent, so it just kind of started there. And then I met Laura, and we realized we were working on the same thing, and we just kind of started working on together. And I'll let her take over like the camp aspect of it.
Yeah, it was just kind of an idea that snowballed. We all, and Terry as well. She's a little busy tonight cutting our episode for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hi, Terry. We love you. But yeah, we all met at Camp Anarchy 2019, and we were all like, man, this is really great. We had a whole family that really kind of formed there, and we were all looking forward to hanging out again the year after, what would have been this year. But even before COVID, there was no Camp Anarchy 2020. So we're like, oh man, that sucks. We have this group of friends that we would really love to be with again for that time. So we're just gonna throw a little backyard camping party in Bree's yard, and literally what seemed like overnight, it just snowballed into this hang on 1 second. It just snowballed into this. Can you say hi? Hi. It just snowballed into this kind of crazy idea where everybody's friends are like, I want to come camping, I want to go too. And like we had like 100 and some odd members in our group overnight that were like, when are we coming camping?
Yeah, everyone was like, so what's going on with Camp Punksylvania? We were like, I don't know, you tell us what's going on with Camp Punksylvania.
They were like, what is Camp Punksylvania? But yeah, DIY. We had all these people interested, so we're like, well, now we have to do something about it, and here we are.
And we no longer fit in my yard. I have 4 acres, but I think we were at like 250 people at that point. And I was like, there's no way. And I think we started with 3 bands, and we ended up with like 18 or something crazy.
Yeah, we had 18 bands on our lineup set to play this August.
It's amazing.
Well, we kind of jumped into it there, and I didn't introduce Dan and Mackenzie both, and they've been carrying the weight while I've been coughing to death for the last few weeks. So know how much I love them and appreciate them more than life.
We love you too, Rob.
Have you has he figured out a level there yet?
She usually mutes it when he's talking to her, so
but
Ollie's a regular guest appearance in our podcast.
Every time. I'm very sorry.
And he's like my personal friend, so it's fine.
Parenting.
Good, throw him into it early.
He doesn't.
I go to Laura's to hang out with her, but really I hang out with her son like 60% of the time, probably.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty wild.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He didn't appear in the one that y'all were just getting drunk on purpose, did he?
No. Actually, you know what? He did. He was in that one.
Rob, why are we throwing these people under the bus?
He was
I'm not.
grabbing fruit snacks
No, I thought it was a
uncontrollably
lot
out
of
the cabinet
fun.
behind him.
That's right.
I thought it was
Like
a
a
lot of fun.
gremlin.
They were literally going to get drunk online together, and it was really great.
It was scheduled. You should check that episode out because it was, I think, in my opinion, it was one of our absolute favorites. I know I say that all the time, but like, it was just really fun. Bree and I were trashed, but in the end, it was not good.
There's a blooper at the end that is ridiculous, and I didn't even realize that was there until like it just kept playing, and I was like, "What is this?"
Well, Mackenzie, how's everything in New Mexico? I know y'all are in the midst of shutting down like we are. But,
yeah, so we shut down officially effective Monday. So my last shift was Saturday. So I'm back on my lonesome. Life's been, second time around is definitely a little bit rougher than the first. It felt a lot different seeing it coming though. So it was kind of nice, but honestly, there is this giant weight lifted off of my shoulders knowing that you and Tina are all right. So that is really all that matters right now to me.
thank you. It was tough, and anybody watching knows that we lost John in the middle of it, and that the weight that we were all carrying, number one, trying to get better ourselves, but then losing a pillar of the Denver punk community and one of our best friends was incredibly tough. I did luckily talk to his wife yesterday. She's doing the best that can be expected. She's had family in, and so she's hanging tough. But if you get a chance, think about, John's family, and think about the streets of Denver family. Nobody knows what's going to become of Streets yet. He did have a silent partner, and we're hoping that they just let the management roll with it and keep it open, because it's definitely it's part of our scene big time here, and we don't want to lose it. But that kind of streams into the fact that we all need to really, especially with shutting down again, realize that these smaller venues especially, and not your gigantic AEGs and Live Nations and all of that, but the smaller independent venues are not going to survive. We've lost so many. It's uncountable so far how many we've had to go after and try to help, but we've lost already. We don't want to lose more. We want to have cool punk rock venues and cool venues when this, hopefully dies, when this virus crawls back under a rock somewhere in the world and we don't have to deal with it again for a few years, hopefully. So if you have means, if you're still working and you can put a couple of dollars towards your local venue, call them, see if you can buy an advance ticket or something, or there's lots of ways that places are trying to generate income, even if it means you getting something coming in the future. On
that, I know a lot of venues, at least one of our best kind of smaller venues here in Albuquerque, which I know a lot of our viewership is from here, and I appreciate that. The Launchpad, which is the same owner as Sunshine and Moonlight Lounge, and now also El Rey, they have a Patreon going, and I know they got that idea from other venues in other cities, and you can do sliding scale monthly donation and have access to different live streams that they're doing or whatever. I just put in what I felt I would normally be spending at my local venue every month. I'm just like, why not? It'd be going to them anyway. So if you can, definitely try to throw them a few bucks, because they've all helped us out our entire lives. I wouldn't be here with it if it weren't for our local venues. I'm sure many of the people watching wouldn't be here if it weren't for their local venues. It's definitely important to try to help them survive right now.
All right. Well, once again, we kind of started off weird, but hey, Dan, how's Chicago over there? How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good here, actually. Sadly, as everywhere else is doing their shelter-in-place, doing lockdowns, I just found out all across Illinois they're doing 25% capacity everywhere and keeping it a very limited amount. So I actually just found that out right before this session, and that was one of those reality striking again moments. But
Geez,
yeah.
you guys got above 25% capacity?
25 period straight.
Damn. Well, I mean, we never got above that, so we went
Gotcha.
down.
Touche.
Shut
Okay.
down from 25%.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But make it through.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I there? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I keep losing you guys, but it's because the guitar player for Counterpunch and his, I want to say girlfriend, maybe fiance, are moving to Denver, and they're here looking at houses right now. And for some reason, they just called me 2 times, and it cut me off from you guys.
Is this Jared?
No, Kyle.
Oh,
So.
tell Kyle to shut up. Kidding, Kyle. I love you.
But no, Jared and Amy are about Counterpunch news. Jared and Amy are about 3 months from the birth of their child, and that makes me think, hey, everybody, throw out a big congratulations to Brian from Pears and his wife Catherine. They just had their baby last night, little bouncing baby boy, and I don't remember the name, but they're calling him the King of New Orleans already. So that's
Nice.
pretty
awesome.
cool.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that he had him. That's awesome.
Yeah, it took like 2 days in the hospital induced for the baby to come, but he finally came. So
that happened to a friend of mine. She was induced, and it still took her like 36 hours.
Holy moly!
That doesn't sound fun.
No, not at all. Not about it.
Not for me.
Yeah, the epidural wore off. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really fun phone call the next day.
So we have a New York and a Pennsylvania down below us, correct?
Yeah.
What does it look like in your area? Are they shutting down? What are they doing?
So I work in a coffee shop and we're at about 50% capacity. So at the most, I think there's allowed to be 4 people in besides the 2 employees. Like, we're pretty small.
Oh.
The schools I hear are just about to shut down again. They do like a hybrid schedule where some kids go certain days and then they do the virtual learning other days. But I have 4 kids, and like all of my kids all had different schedules, like the days they had to go to school, and I was like, I can't deal with that. So we're just doing like the full-time cyber. But I hear the schools are getting closed just because there's just a lack of substitute teachers right now. There's not enough to go around all the districts.
Yeah, I would understand that. Unfortunately, it's a little tough. I mean, you really, as I learned, unfortunately, I know people want to get back to their lives and everything, but you can get this anywhere. So anywhere that there's a gathering, you're not safe. There's no blame, there's no nothing. It's just this thing is indiscriminate, and you've got to just watch out for yourself and be as careful as you can. And please, we keep saying it. We've been saying it for 9 months now. You've got to wear a mask, and that's as much. And actual studies are out now that are showing that we've been preaching that wearing a mask was considerate to your fellow human, and you not spreading it if you didn't know you had it. Well, they're actually finding out now that the mask helps, and this would make sense. If you're not being able to blow through a mask, you can't suck in from a mask either. So they're showing some signs that wearing a mask helps you not contract it as well. But the way, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but the place where we think we officially were what's the word I'm looking for? We were exposed, was a bar, and you wore your mask to the table, but once you were sitting, you could take your mask off. And that makes sense if you're going to eat, drink, or anything like that. But once your mask is off and you're in an enclosed space, recycled air or air being blown around the place by heaters or air
Right.
conditioners. Obviously, it's not like we were in a airplane hangar or something. It was, you know, a little bitty bar where we wanted to support them and have a pizza. And unfortunately, we got sick. What's going on in New York out there, Laura? What are they doing to you guys?
So we're in the process of, you know, going back into lockdown. Just Monday, we were told again no more than 10 people maximum in an establishment at one time. So, and I run a small little sandwich shop in Central New York. So oh, can you go to the room, please? It's really loud. Yeah, I run a sandwich shop in Central New York. So we've been kind of, it's almost like every day we have to check the website and make sure that there's not these crazy restrictions and stuff we have to follow. And I'm not saying they're crazy like that, but every day they're different. You know, it's really hard to kind of keep up on. And making sure, because we don't want to obviously get people sick and expose others, but at the same time, you know, I have 15 employees with children and bills to pay and lights to keep on in their house. So I'm like, how do we go about this the right way? You know, we've got schools going remote again, businesses shutting down. I don't really know what's going to be happening here, like after Black Friday and stuff like that. I feel like people are trying to hold out for that, and that's just like the scariest thing ever to me. Like, why would you want to go out and do that during all of this? So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I feel like it could be handled a lot better here if money weren't such like a big factor for a lot of people in charge.
Yeah, I feel like you know, everybody kept saying that the lockdowns would start after the election, you know, and I think that was true. I think we probably needed to get some of this re-lockdown about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but they didn't want to deter, number one, business, number two, the voting, and it kind of walked us all into surging numbers again. Yeah, it's scary, you know. It's
yeah, and I feel like right now too, especially like I just said with the holidays around the corner, I've been kind of following things a little bit here in New York. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but I mean Black Friday is a thing here. Like the malls are operating, and I'm just like, how are you going to do this? And what's going to happen in 2 weeks after this? What kind of numbers are we going to see in our counties here? And how awful is that going to be? And what is going to come after that, you know?
It's also something that I've been thinking a lot about, because I do see, you know, people are blaming voting and wondering what's going to happen on Black Friday. But if we look back to when we had all of these Black Lives Matter protests going on, we didn't see a surge like this. So I really do feel like it has a lot to do. Obviously, there are some gatherings happening, like voting obviously affected it. Black Friday is going to affect it. But I feel like there's a lot of complacency that is also kind of chiming into that. You know, I feel like earlier on when there were protests, people were still sort of at least being aware of their safety in some sort of way. They were wearing masks, they were outside. Everything with being so cold, people are indoors, but they kind of, I feel like people are blaming or sort of finding excuses because we didn't see this kind of case surge earlier on, you know, when we thought we would have. But it's just kind of all, I don't think anybody has the answers anymore to anything.
Yeah.
Right. It's how do we go about this? You know, is a lockdown going to help us? How do we ride this out and like come out of things and get back to a somewhat sense of like normalcy? You know, I don't think anybody, I really don't think that there's any solid like answer here, and no one knows how long this is going to last.
Nope.
And it really puts a lot of people, especially, you know, like in the music and entertainment world, it puts everybody at such a halt. Like if this continues for even another 6 months to another year, like what is the industry going to look like? Is there even going to really be an industry? Like, you know, it's scary stuff to think about.
Yeah.
And two, with us playing in camp, we're running into issues with like insurance and like, like entering contracts with even like small sanitation companies, because that was important to us, was to use like, like as much local business as we can. And a lot of these businesses are straight up saying, we don't know if we're going to be around next summer.
Yeah, my fear is that, we're losing venues already. When do bands have to do it? You know what I'm saying? Our friends are not, our friends in bands and everything can't tour. A lot of amazing music's being written, but not everybody has the money to buy said music right now.
Right.
And so when do bands realize, oh God, I guess we've really got to go get real jobs? And not that being a musician is not a real job, but you know what I mean. It's
Mhm.
and when that's been a fear of mine is, when do we start losing bands to this? And that's, you know, it's a sad thought, and it's, I think we're going to end up with some amazing music because everybody's been locked down and writing. And I mean, like, you guys interviewed them, and so did we. The Get Dead guys, in the middle of all this, wrote quite possibly the album of the year. You know what I mean? And finally got it out. And I know y'all had them on a couple of weeks before we did, and had a blast with those guys. And then we had them on, and they were like chiming in from their work cars and stuff. It was really a trip. And knowing, what do you do when you release an album now and you can't tour it? So keeping your bands positive, and buy your band's merch, guys. I know we're saying support local businesses and everything. Your bands are local businesses, guys. They're not
Yeah,
big,
absolutely.
they're not big giant corporations.
I
They
bought
buy,
so much merch in the last 6 months. Like the bar in my closet is starting to like bend.
yeah.
See, I've been buying as much merch as I can. I'm realizing that it's still not as much as I would be accumulating if I were going to shows. So I'm kind of like,
Yep.
it's kind of nice. I don't need to like reorganize my entire dresser again this year.
Right.
But it is kind of fun to see all of the merch that was printed for different tours this year being, put online. All the stuff we would have gotten, which is kind of nice. So there's been some really, really awesome designs that people had plans to tour with this year. It's been cool to just like snag them online. It's the first time in my life that I've memorized my debit card number because I'm ordering so much stuff.
Yeah, every Friday I go, Bandcamp Friday or not, every Friday I go and I buy from 3 different bands. Like, that's my ritual.
Yeah, Bandcamp is super important right now, guys, because they give way more money, actually all the money, to the artists, or not all of it, but more than Spotify obviously does. You can order merch through it. I know New Noise Magazine is posting a Bandcamp Artist of the Day that they're doing on Instagram every single day. So check them out. And on Bandcamp Fridays, go. A lot of them do like pay what you want. If you want to buy some merch, buy a record, buy something new. That's a great way to be supportive right now.
A lot of bands have been offering like grab bags where it's like $10 and they just kind of like pick what they send you. And I'm like, okay.
That's fun. That's
fun.
Yeah.
I love New Noise Magazine. I really think they're one of the prime. And then you've also got not only your bands, but you've got your merch people, kind of like Chaos Merch and Spar Customs, who we work with a lot, and merch companies that are working. Like Spar Customs did that reprint of the Hepcat Make Racism Wrong Again shirt, and you ordered it through there or through Hepcat to help out Hepcat and Spar Customs. Pretty rad bring back. And I know Gabby has been doing with Chaos Merch. She's got the Basis Against Racism shirts. The second one is Intruder Purple, which is pretty rad. So we don't know her at all.
Who is she?
I don't know. She's one of my favorite people, so I'll go with that.
Yes.
And I'll introduce something later on tonight with that as we get deeper into this. But what's going on with Punksylvania? What can we do to support you guys? Y'all have quite a bit of merch and stuff like that too, is right?
Well, right now, actually, we usually have a lot of merch. Right now, we're in a weird, funky in between because we're getting ready for the holidays. We're going to be in the next couple weeks, I think, dropping 2 new designs.
I'm not
I
even.
don't know. We have some cool stuff
We've been
happening.
all so busy that we even had sat down to like discuss designs.
Yeah, we have some cool stuff coming out for the holidays and some really cool collaborations. I don't want to give too much away there, but we're working with some other really awesome companies and people in the scene to put out some really fun stuff while we kind of wait for the return of live music, you know. We want to like we developed a relationship with the bands from Camp Punksylvania, so we're like we owe it to these guys, you know. They were gonna bring it on stage for us. We want to kind of make sure that we're still giving them all this love and support. So yeah, come on our podcast. Yes, let's do whatever we can do. Let's put your interviews out. Let's review your albums and stuff like that. And through that, we've gotten oh my gosh, so much new music, so many new bands reaching out to us and stuff like that. So it's been I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's been like a tree. Like literally, it's just been growing, branches and leaves and all these sorts of crazy things just like growing, and we're like trying to catch everything as it's coming. It's really, it's fun and it's overwhelming and it's
sometimes it works, some projects don't, and you know we move on to the next. And I don't know, it's fun. I love working with these women. I love being able to like bounce ideas off of other people and they get it and we work together as a team.
Yeah, it's weird being in this like funky, almost like limbo stage because we're not doing what we really initially started out to do, but we're finding that we're good at like a little good at other things too. You know, like the podcast has taken off quite a bit. A couple of us are writing that have never really done that before, so we're dabbling in PR and scheduling and all of this stuff because you know somebody has to do it. So. And it's fun. We're finding like these weird little niches, and it's making it work a little better too. I think this is almost a blessing in disguise for Punksylvania. I think being given an extra year to kind of get our stuff together and learn a little bit more about the back end of things rather than just three idiots from the East Coast trying to put on a random festival.
We're gonna have a party in my yard. Just kidding, it's a festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I can't
I
wait.
know
'Cause I'm
you
definitely
guys-
gonna go when it happens.
Oh yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna bring a tent.
Awesome.
We were just starting to talk about Punk Rock Saves Lives doing activations at Camp Punksylvania about the time when we realized we couldn't do this. So
It's true.
we definitely want to be there for the first one in the future, and we can do some good together just like we did at Camp Anarchy. There have been lives saved from punk rockers signing up to be marrow donors at Camp Anarchy, and that doesn't have to be our focus at any of the future festivals, but that is always on the table. That's always dear to our hearts, and we can always bring
I have
out the
zero
squads
problem
and
with
get
that.
people going.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we have,
That's awesome.
I know, Camp Anarchy, we swabbed a lot of the artists, like, the guys from Suicide Machines came out and hung out at the tent. Jason from Strung Out came out and swabbed, let us film it. So it's out there if you ever want to see one of your favorite singers actually swabbing, which is pretty rad. The guys from Death by Stereo came out and swabbed as well. Ephraim is one of the best people in the world.
Ephraim's a good guy.
Mike and I have a dear relationship, luckily through all the years, but with the adolescence and all of that. So I love that kid to death. So it was really cool to see all that, and that the death of that festival, or the suspension of that festival, was going to spawn a complete DIY festival. Just made my heart happy. So thank you guys for jumping on something like that. That's so
Well,
cool.
thank you. That
And I know there's
us.
now let me put some together here. Did y'all kind of all meet with Mabel syndrome? Is that true, or is that kind of the impetus to some of this?
I was tied to Mabel, I think, before anybody else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you sent me the invite, actually.
Yeah. I oh my gosh,
I think we met in
It's been a long
PPP
time.
in Punks Fishing Tents.
Yeah, that's how
It was
you and
just this
I.
Facebook group of just like random people going to Camp Anarchy.
Yep,
And
Punks Fishing Tents was how Bree and I met each other, and Terry
yeah.
too, actually. And then we
Yeah,
all
Terry's
met
an
up in
admin of that
person.
group actually. And like just through there over the, you know, I think we met like a year before the actual event. And we just, you know, had common interests and we just made a friendship. And at actual camp, I don't think we actually ran into each other much.
I think you and I ran into each other the very last day at
But
camp.
yeah, and hung out for like
I
15 minutes.
Terry and I ended up with backstage passes, like all access passes somehow. We did not deserve that. We got lucky and won them. But so I did a couple interviews for Maple Syndrome that weekend, and we were just kind of bopping all over the place. Terry and I just getting like the full experience back there and stuff. And I went out, and I was, where were we, Bree? In line at the Bomb Pops, and
Yeah.
and Bree like walked by and she was like, "Blue," and I'm like, "Wait," I was like, "Are you Bree? Come to me."
No, I think my name was so Chubbs McSqueezely at that point. I don't even think anyone
Yeah,
knew my name
you were
was actually
Chubbs,
Bree.
actually. Yes, you were Chubbs. You weren't Bree. Like nobody even knew your real name for a while.
No.
It's weird. The internet brings people together in such strange ways.
And then we officially
Was
hung
that
out
the-
like 2 months later, I think in Pittsburgh. She was there for a show. And I'm like 2 hours away. She was like, "Do you want to come and hang out with me in the hotel?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I do."
It's amazing what the
that
internet does for
line-
like the punk scene specifically. I've still got friends that I made on like MySpace for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah, that you met at shows
People I was
back in
talking
like
to.
2009.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I say too, I don't know how old you guys are, but like I started going to festivals when I was like 17, 18. And like you would hang out and make the best friends for the entire weekend, never learn anything more than their first names, and then you never see them again.
Yeah.
You know, like that doesn't happen now. You can just pull out your phone and be like, "What's your name?" You know?
Yeah, now you can couch surf across the country if you go to enough festivals, honestly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that,
it's really
that line
wholesome, and
at
that's so many. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that line at the Bomb Pops at the Stupid Rad Tent was pretty long, so I'm sure you had a nice long time to talk.
Well,
So-
so that was the thing, is I'm a piece of crap. So I was with a good friend of mine, Dave, from a band from my area, Syracuse. They're Lucky 33, and he had a media pass as well. So I walked by and he was like way ahead of the line, and he's like, just come hang out with me. So I skipped the line, right? And then I see Bree like a half an hour later, and she skips the line with me. So there's like 6 of us cutting these people. It was terrible. I'm so sorry to everybody. And then, of course, we're like standing there talking to everybody for what, like 40 minutes? It was not good.
I think I ducked in a few times myself there, so you know
It was a
It
good
does
time. They had a
happen.
great turnout.
Well, Simeon from Stupid Rad is an awesome, fun human.
We love
And
We
Simeon.
love Simeon.
Yes, we do. He's a
He
great
does all of our merch actually for Punksylvania. He's great.
And we've talked about doing some combo stuff and like that. So you never know what's going to happen. You know, it's really rad. We've done so many festivals with each other over the years that we just became those guys that hung out at festivals together. So I love
Right.
that kid.
Hey, he's such
He
an
does a lot
amazing
of-
being too. Like
He
he's
always
just
had the
genuinely.
he always had the White Claws. He always somehow had the White Claws in
He had
in
like
a
what, like
cooler.
2 coolers underneath his merch table. He said,
Yep.
"You guys want a drink?"
Yep. We
Someone's
were
gotta
good
do
about getting drinks. Yeah, we would have drinks in, but he was a pro, you know. So it was if you needed a White Claw, Simeon had you covered if that was your thing. And the famous shirt he did with Dante, the White Claws not white. What was no? White Claws.
White Claws, not white.
Not white power.
Yeah, that's it. I've got that shirt, and I just blanked out on what it said. But that was Dante Graziani, who is tour manager for Pears and Less Than Jake and a lot of other really cool bands, and one of my favorite humans on the earth. And he and Simeon came up with that idea for that shirt, and it became a reality. And I'm proud to say it's in my collection somewhere. So it's
I
really
wear that
rad.
all the time.
Uh,
I had this old man at my restaurant. He's like, that shirt is offensive. If you are a Nazi, it is.
Yeah, that's when it's offensive. I don't know if you watched, if anybody watched the videos, the news report that they did about John from Streets passing here. They went back and referenced the interview they had done with him a couple of years earlier when it opened, and how he cleared out the Nazi kind, the Proud Boys and stuff that were hanging out in that bar before he bought it. And one of the reporters or something said, well, isn't that offensive to those people? And he goes, well, yeah. they aren't
That's the
welcome.
point.
I don't think you can be racist against hatred. I'm sorry. So
There is a paradox of tolerance. That is for sure.
Yeah. But that one brings a smile on my face when I think about my friend that's gone now, unfortunately. And it's been a lot of loss in the punk rock community over the last few months. I know losing Alec Braille was horrible to most of us, and he was such a great guy. And no matter what you think of, the rest of Leftover Crack, he was. I know there's stuff going on with Leftover Crack and stuff like that, and that is certain members or whatever. But Alec was the heart of the band, and just an amazing guy.
Alec
Went out
was
of
a
his way to
truly
help
good
everybody.
person.
So
We love Alec.
yeah, losing Alec breaks my heart, followed by John. And then I don't know if you saw yesterday, we lost Ben. We call him Super Ben. He was one of our amazing people with Lollapalooza and Austin City Limits through the last 10 to 15 years, who was in charge of different aspects of the festival, but he always came to check on our booth, made sure we were taken care of, made sure the water that we were supposed to get was there, and everything like that. And I always just thought he dug what we were doing, not knowing that he was living with cancer himself, and 7-year battle with cancer. And I knew him that entire 7 years, and honest to God, never once knew he had cancer. So losing him yesterday was a real shock to a lot of people. So a lot of upheaval, a lot of loss, and a lot of sadness. But we've all got to stay up and above and keep fighting ourselves. And we want y'all to know how much you mean to us. And things like Punksylvania, watching you ladies spread your wings and create something, and then shift and create even more due to the circumstances, has been just absolutely brilliant. It's made me smile on a regular basis. Laura and I have talked about all sorts of stuff, including I'm almost saying the wrong word, boudoir. And I know my wife does boudoir for another group from yours, and you have your group, and that's female empowerment to the max, and I love that. So it's been really cool getting to know you guys, even though we probably met at Camp Anarchy, but it was probably,
you know what?
Probably.
But I'm gonna fully admit I was not the best version of myself that weekend.
And I'm always like an ADHD squirrel, so I am all over all the time. Getting me to stand still doesn't work very much.
You just described me to a T. My wife will tell you at festivals, my brain is going 100 miles per hour, and I'm even with Love, Hope, Strength, and now us, I'm not only the guy out front, I'm also the guy that gets bands to support our mission, so I'm constantly running all over festivals, while my awesome wife would hold down the fort at the tent and swab, and so it's she'll tell you really loudly. She's right beside me here driving the car, but she can tell you.
Hi,
that-
Tina.
I feel like it's gonna be Terry at camp, right? Terry's gonna be
There
the
she
one
is.
responsible holding down the fort, and you and I are gonna be the ones like running everywhere, talking to everyone, trying to find all the
Yep.
band members.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be a couple of those guys we're gonna have to like rein right in.
I know a couple right now off the top of my head that we're gonna just spell them right to our loopholes right there.
We're calling lowercase Chris out right now.
Totally call lowercase Chris.
We're pulling up to a red light, and now I can move it over to her to really say hello. Hi, Tina.
Hello.
So
Now that
glad to
we're
see you.
there we go.
Absolutely.
Me too. So much me too. COVID.
I love you.
That sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, she got it from me. How do you not give it to your spouse? And
Well, I feel like at that point,
we did for the first few days I had symptoms. I would stay in the bedroom and she would stay in the living room, but our house is tiny, and
and I feel like
you
at
said,
that point the
there.
damage is probably already done, right? By the
Yeah,
time you
it
have
was-
symptoms, you probably already. It's just
Yeah,
the way it goes.
I think that we all believe we were exposed on a Saturday night, and my cough started on the Tuesday night. So, but by the time I thought I was feeling better is when they wanted me to go to the hospital, get a checkout, and then they admitted me. So, and I thought I was doing better, to be completely honest. And according to them, I wasn't. So that's how I ended up staying in the hospital for a night. And so a day and a
And
half
that's
in the
what they're-
hospital with. So
That's what
It's
they're
not
saying
fun.
is that people are avoiding going to the hospital, or they're feeling better when they should be going to the hospital, and that's what gets really scary, and that's when we're losing people. So I'm just so proud of you, Rob, for getting up and going and getting checked out.
I called them and explaining my symptoms and luckily we have nurses that are dear friends, and one of them had brought us an oximeter, or however you say it, and I was being a little kind of like when I was being a little crazy. I was trying to wear it all the time and see what my air was, because I was sticking around the high 80s to low 90s, and I thought that was okay, but they really want you in the high 90s. So that's when I just gave them the nurse line a call, and they told me to go to the hospital quick clinic, and next thing you know, I'm staying in a hospital. So don't underestimate it, guys. Go get checked out. If you do have any symptoms, if you've been exposed, don't be afraid to go check. I'm that typical 50-year-old punk rocker. I don't go to a doctor unless I have to.
If you have symptoms of COVID and your test is negative, do not trust your test.
Yep, lots of negative, negative tests that are not negative. There's a
I
lot
had a fever for 12 days and my first test was negative.
Jeez, really?
I don't know if you heard that.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
you tested negative, Tina.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
insane.
In the house with me, she tested negative, but was running a fever for 12 days. And the second test wasn't negative, but the first one came back negative. So
That's insane.
it's so don't always necessarily test and trust the negative test. John had told us before he passed that he had 2 negative tests. So please take it seriously and take your health seriously. We love you. We want you around. We've hit that beautiful 45-minute zone. And so I think this is a perfect time to start wrapping up. But this is going to be really fun with you two ladies, because I know how wired y'all are in. I kind of surprise people every week, and I will go to Mackenzie first because she knew it was coming.
I did,
you
but I
guys don't,
wasn't
so it'll
ready.
give you a few minutes to think.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
What is something you've been listening to? A podcast, a new musician, a book you've read, whatever. something that's got a couple of things that have gotten you through the last few weeks that you believe could help someone going forward. All right,
Okay.
Mackenzie, what have you been listening to?
So you all know by now that I don't really listen to very much new shit. I try. I try, but I get stuck on the old stuff, and a year later, I'll listen to everything that came out this year, with the exception of the few records that I have. Put on some really warm socks and leggings or pajamas or whatever, and just dance around your house to the Tigre because it's the best feeling ever. Just learn the Decepticon choreography and just do it. Anyway,
I don't even know what those words mean. I'm gonna have to read all of that.
do it. It's good, and it's a good workout. The Decepticon choreography is a great workout, which I actually learned from a local band in Albuquerque called Abort Abort. Check them out. There it is. There's new music. And they did Bikini Kill / The Tigre as our Night of the Living cover bands last year. And they did the whole thing, the whole choreography, and it's the most fun ever. So I forced myself to learn it, and I just do it when I'm bored. And it's awesome.
Rocket. Well, what's been blowing Dan's doors open this week?
Man, not a whole lot. I'm kind of listening to the same things over and over again for some apparent reason. But one thing I will say, because I mentioned it months ago when he started it, Justin Stain of Anti-Flag, definitely a huge part of PRSL, actually has been doing a quarantine covers album on Bandcamp that he just finished a few weeks ago, with covers like Redemption Song to Country Roads and a whole bunch of others, and I highly recommend it to anyone that just needs a little boost at like an acoustic punk feeling that it is, because it's definitely been my go-to lately.
Oh, I did listen to a new record yesterday. I'm sorry.
Oh,
There's a
I will
water
tell you.
company called Liquid Death that we're all aware of, and they just put out their Greatest
Yep.
Hates Volume 2.
Oh,
where they
yeah,
have
I
people
saw that.
Nice.
from their worst reviews online, and this record has Brendan Kelly, and it has Chris Number 2, and it has Tim McElrath, and it's hilarious, and it rips. All the songs are short. Just check it out. Sorry.
I will tell you that some of the most amazing lift me ups Tina and I both got so many texts and so many check-ins and so many phone calls while we were really sick that it blew our minds. But Justin Sane is quite possibly one of my favorite people on the earth, and he was adamantly checking on us, and it was a beautiful, beautiful thing, and just reminds you that we can all be in this together, and we can make a mark on each other, whether you're a musician, a supporter, a fan. We're all in this together, and I can tell you they do care. Birthday girl, Bree, what's been blowing up your speakers or your
I'm afraid
mind?
Laura's gonna yell at me. I'm gonna steal all of her stuff.
I will smack you. Don't even say it.
All right, I'll go with some other ones. I think I know what you're gonna say. I have been listening to Teenage Bigfoot. It's this local band out of Philly. There's got this awesome chick singer. She's got like this gravelly Bikini Kill snarl to her. There's an
got points from us there.
called Jukebox Romantics. I've been jamming to them a lot. So good.
So good.
What's another one? Fuck Yeah Dinosaurs. They're a band from Pittsburgh. I've been jamming to them a lot. It's like goofy skate thrasher punk that's all about dinosaurs.
Hey,
I'm sorry,
Big
you
ass.
broke up. What's about dinosaurs?
The band's called Fuck Yeah Dinosaurs.
Okay.
And it's like this skate thrasher punk, but like all the songs are about dinosaurs.
That's what I'm into.
Yes.
It's amazing.
That's my type. That's all I listen to.
That's
Speaking of
what I'm
Sharp
into.
Tooth, obviously, if people don't already listen to that.
We bring up Sharp Tooth a lot on here. They're genuinely.
If it's about dinosaurs, I just need to know about it. That's just how it is.
I appreciate that.
We lost Rob.
Oh no!
I think we lost Rob.
Let's see if am I back?
Yep.
Your voice is back. Your face is
Am
not.
I back?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey, I am. Tina is driving us all the way across Denver, so sometimes you lose it. But all right, Laura, I'm looking forward to this. I know.
Oh no, we lost him again.
Constantly talking new music.
Okay, well, so I
What's
have
going
been,
on in your
anyone who
brain?
knows
I guess.
me. Oh wait,
We're
can't hear.
trying. It was going so well. It's like the first week without technical difficulties. Till
You
now.
understand. I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's usually me that like freezes, but I have like the dumbest look on my face.
Ooh.
It's awesome.
I mean, it wouldn't be funny if it happened when we looked good, right?
Right, of course not.
That's very true. Oh, my light is dying in here. Look at me. We're falling apart. So are we all? Are we back?
I think Rob's still working on it, so I'm gonna pass it to Laura. Laura, what were you saying?
So anyone who knows me knows that I have an obsession with this Philly band, Stolen Wheelchairs. They just dropped their first ever full-length album called The America last Friday, and it has been, I mean, just steadily on repeat. And I'm going through a really tough, strange time in my life right now. So there's a couple tracks on there that I'm like, yes, louder for me.
Nice.
You know, so I feel like that's definitely my pick-me-up lately. And the fact that Oscar is literally just a kid and he's crushing it like this is crazy to me. So I like to, I don't know, I think that's great. It makes me hopeful for the future of punk rock. The fact that they're putting out this like really solid, wonderful album, and they're just babies, and it's making me feel all sorts of feels, and I like it. So that's the PMA that I need in my life.
Heck yeah.
Love it.
Heck yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, there you are.
Hey, all right. Well, I'm going to give you mine real quick. I want you all to check out System Restore out of Casper, Wyoming. They have a new album called Wash Your Hands. It's self-explanatory. The video is a trip. So please check that out. I'm going to post it on our page tomorrow morning. And we're working on a really cool idea with those guys to celebrate John from Streets' legacy in the world. So so check System Restore out. Brand new video. Great punk band. One of the guys in the band, he's not supposed to tread on it, but one of the I believe it's the bass player, is the drummer from the Lillingtons' little brother. He doesn't put that out there, but you know, all those Wyoming bands are kind of tied together and somehow. So they're
Really? Lillington's drummer is from Albuquerque, and I don't know if he has a little brother.
Then I might be getting it wrong. O'Hara?
Yeah. No shit.
They're from, yeah. He has a little
Tim?
brother. Yep.
Weird. Okay, crazy world. Yeah, they're from down here in my camp.
Well, I know one of them's in Casper now, and one of them's in Colorado Springs. So,
One of the Lillington boys is actually from my area, from Altoona.
No
Oh.
Like
way.
originally,
Are we
yeah.
all connected with Lillingtons right now?
Right? Crazy world.
That's crazy.
well, we're really, Tina and I are really tied to you as well, because Tina's from Weirton, West Virginia, and so right outside of Pittsburgh.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's about 3 hours from me.
Yep,
Nice.
but Pennsylvania and West Virginia, and especially Pittsburgh, are really tied to our lives, our family, and our
Pittsburgh has an amazing music scene.
and our punk rock family.
Who knows
Incredible
what it looks
punk.
like after this, but before this, it was thriving.
And make sure if you need tattoos in the Pittsburgh area, please look up our brother Chris Cleary, Dissidents Tattoo, phenomenal tattoo artist, really good guy, tries to do the best he can in the world. So check that out too. Lots of Pittsburgh going on, but I think it's been and just to explain this, Dan is our co-host and does a ton, but never says a whole lot because he's over there taking notes. He's been handling all the comments online and all sorts of stuff. So don't let him think that's sitting back there, Dan's this quiet boy, because
I co-run a Facebook group page for our PRSL, the Mental Health Initiative. So I actually put up all of our recommendations today, all the Bandcamp sites of everybody that you know, you
Oh,
and
that's fabulous.
Laura, your website with your podcast, your merch, all the above to support.
So yeah, that's what's been going on. So we wanted y'all to know how
And he's
awesome
got a
that
good
was.
face, so we have
Yep.
him up here.
Yep. And Tina just said it right. Baby bird. Woo! That's
This
what
is
we
true.
We love him to death. So, all right. Well, guys, it's been an amazing, amazing night to talk. I appreciate y'all more than you know. Please keep changing the world and making cool stuff happen. Being powerful, awesome women. That's stuff that's very dear to this organization. Let's do a lot together. Let's change the world together. And everybody look up Punksylvania tonight. Like all of their stuff. Order what merch they have left. What I was going to tell you with us is we are working on a project and we'll be rolling it out next week. We have about 30 or 40 artists. And when I say artists, I mean punk rockers, good artists, bad artists, everything. But our Christmas push is going to be a $25 donation, and you send us a picture of your pet. And we will have one of these artists, completely random who you get, draw your pet. Now, it could be.
I love that.
It can be awesome. You might get a stick figure back. I don't know. And that's part of the fun of it is you're going to get a signed picture from, and I can just throw out a few names from that I can think of. 3/4 of Anti-Flag, including Justin and Pat. We'll be trying to draw animals. Our boy Jay Navarro from Suicide Machines. Nathan Maxwell and Shelby Maxwell will be combo drawing some, so that's going to be neat. They're going to. So that's the grand prize. One person. What we'll do is probably put every name that comes in, and we'll list all the names of the artist over the next probably Tuesday is when this will start. The grand prize artist, the grand prize person, and we'll probably put everybody that buys. That's the spot. And the grand prize person will get an actual one lithograph print by Matt Hensley himself of your animal. So if you don't know, Matt is the accordion player for Foggy Molly, but he's also probably the world's second or third best skateboarder. And but he's also an amazing lithograph artist. I would kill to have a Matt Hensley original. So you might be the person that gets that. That'll be our big push for around Black Friday and stuff like that. We'll probably do a sale in the merch store too. So please help us survive this.
Absolutely do our part to help.
Like I say to everybody every week, I love you all. We're out here for you. If you have any doubts, any needs, my phone number is readily available on Facebook. Don't be afraid to call. I know Dan and Mackenzie are the same way. And I know the Punksylvania people will do anything they can to keep your spirits up.
Yeah.
So how we close it every week, one love, up the punks. Good night, everybody. We love you.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. I'm going to